Hey there, I'm very excited to kick off this month's whiteboard session. We're looking at one of my favorite bands, Sloan. Sloan hails from Toronto and have been around for 27 years with the same 4 original members. And all 4 members of the band have written songs released as singles. The only other band I can think of that's similar in those respects is Queen. This month we're looking at their latest album, 12, which besides being their 12th album, has 12 songs on it, of which each member contributed 3. Now, I've been a fan of Sloan for almost 20 years. I have all their albums and have seen them at least a dozen times, including just last week when they came through LA. But to be honest, this just made things more difficult. After all this time, all their music sounds like Sloan to me. What I hear as influences in this album are many of their earlier albums that came before it. With those earlier records, it was easier for me to spot the influences, but not after all these years. To my ears, Sloan has achieved the sort of branding all bands hope to achieve, where there's no debating who a song is by, you just know instantly. So this is going to be an interesting whiteboard. For my song, I chose 44 Teenagers, which closed out the album and was written by drummer Andrew Scott. I find Scott's songs to be some of the most interesting songs in Sloan's catalog. His songs are rarely straightforward, but often stop just short of avant-garde. As Brett stated, a Pink Floyd feel and a real change of pace for this record. I hear the Beatles during the Revolver period. A Little Tomorrow Never Knows, an interesting song to close out the record. To me, it's a slow 2-chord progression that evokes Pink Floyd the most. And King agreed, stating, "I hear Pink Floyd's breathe in this one. I love how the vocal delivery changes at the end of each line. Kind of a John and George Beatles thing here. Plus a CSN feel as well." I agree with the Crosby, Stills, Nash reference. There's definitely something reminiscent of Sweet Judy Blue Eyes also thrown in there. Ken was also in agreement with the Pink Floyd reference. Dreamy, cloudy, ethereal, this track has Pink Floyd all over it. The vocal harmonies are hypnotic. The bass solo is so in the style of those early British Invaders. Roger Waters, look out, Sloan is coming. While Pink Floyd may be the predominant reference, I also got a No Quarter vibe by Led Zeppelin around the time that Chris Murphy sings. And the breakdown into the guitar solo reminds me of Bring It On Home, also by Led Zeppelin. You'd think with references to Pink Floyd, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Led Zeppelin, it'd be easy to pinpoint the sound of this song. But all these elements don't add up to what you'd expect. While it may echo numerous bands from our collective past, to me, it's still unmistakably an Andrew Scott song.